Protect your DNA. BioPQQ can promote formation of new mitochondria. Infowarsstore.com.
And since we're throwing things out there, let's throw out the feminists, because we've seen a lot of feminist things coming out. Now, when I talk about feminism or just women in general, women's rights, I'm concerned about women in Saudi Arabia being labeled terrorists if they want to drive, women being gang raped in places like India, here in the States as well, women getting raped on campus and all that. But a lot of times your, third-wave feminists, as Paul Joseph Watson will put it, will turn a blind eye to things like this. Despite routinely targeting men for fostering a rape culture, feminists are definitely silent about the brutal gang rape of a woman in her own home while children were present. The victim was at home with her family in Las Vegas when a gang of thugs reportedly kicked in her door, robbed the family at gunpoint, and proceeded to rape her. And although multiple news outlets carried the story, it received no attention from popular feminist blogs. And one writer put it, "Feminists don't care about rape victims, and they never have." And this is the thing that kind of concerns me, or I guess more or less confuses me about feminists, because you have the feminists, let's burn the bras and, free the nipples. Then you also have the feminists who are trying to ban the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issues. So I'm really not exactly sure if they're all on one accord on that. But I think things like this should definitely be reported, and I'm kind of surprised that they didn't actually do that if they say they are for women's rights, but to each his own. Now let's take things a little colder, a little chillier, if you will, and talk about global warming, or lack thereof, because we see the headline, "Lobster Boats Frozen in New England Harbor." And, this is just another example, because I'm sure you guys saw earlier this year, it came out, the beginning of January. 2014, hottest year on record, or hottest year in 100 years, whatever the headline was. And they cherry-picked a few places, like maybe it was exceptionally hot here, and there, but it was also record cold here, and there. What places were record cold? I'm glad you asked. City of Chicago, they said it was the coldest year in 100 years. The Great Lakes were freezing up onto the landmass. It was so cold. Here in Austin, Texas, the police chief was warning people not to drive because the streets were so slick in the state of Texas. Just a few examples of the many that are going on out there. And recently I was watching a clip from MSNBC, Bill Nye the Science Guy. And I'm not picking a fight with Bill. I loved him as a kid. I watched the show and all that. But he was saying, don't use the phrase global warming, because people understand that sometimes it's cold. He says, don't use global warming, use the blanket term of climate change. So if it's cold one day, that's climate change. If it's hot one day, it's climate change. If it's rainy one day, that's climate change. If it's a drought next day, that's climate change. So any way you slice it, any type of weather variable will fit into our narrative with so much in so many words. And that's the concern I have about this. For people who don't quite grasp this is exactly what's going on. Anything that happens anywhere fits into their narrative. But long before there were SUVs and coal-powered plants and all these other things, there were always droughts, always floods, always hurricanes, always tornadoes. And my point about this, you can think we're kooks or whatever else. You can believe what you want to believe. Understand that people like Al Gore, one of the top global warming cheerleaders, has multiple homes and a $30,000 electricity bill. That was reported last year, a year before. These guys, they show up in their private jets, with their whoever's. Guys show up to these Davos conferences with their 2 nannies and their families, talking about you need to live more within your means. Obama goes to Africa and tells Africans in Africa they should not have air conditioning. And I dare you to go Google that. People don't believe it. You have to show it to them. And these are just some of the things that are going on. And the point I was making with that, regardless if you believe it's true, hook, line, and sinker, or you're a little bit skeptical, don't pay any carbon taxes. Say, hey, we can, save the children, polar bears can't swim, whatever else. But when they say it's time for a tax, say nay, let's find some other way. And sometimes the best way to do things is just to operate your Second Amendment right and protect your friends and your family.
Gillenwater walked into Good Pharmacy Wednesday morning. He had a gun. Ratcliffe reached for his pistol, shot the would-be robber, and then shot again. That second bullet hit Gillenwater's gun. Here's a photo of it. That shot lodged the bullet up into the barrel, making it impossible for Gillenwater to fire off any more shots.
And coming up after this break, we'll have more gun news. Michael Cargill of Central Texas Gun Works is going to join us and discuss the ATF's plans to regulate your ammunition. And also, Alex Jones will be telling us about black sites, the secret sites where your Constitution does not exist. And this isn't some foreign, faraway land. This is right here in the United States of America.
The knowledge of the ancients, tried and true, trusted herbs and extracts fused with the latest nutraceutical science. Introducing the all-new Ancient Defense Herbal Immunity Blend, crafted with over 14 key ancient herbs and extracts to supercharge and prepare your body for what experts admit is the most dangerous season of the year. We have rejected hundreds of other formulations in our quest to bring you what is simply the most powerful and comprehensive proprietary formula that we have ever created in the realm of herbal immunity. For the last 2 years, our team has been working with top doctors, nutritionists, and chemists to develop the ultimate nutraceutical formulation. Experience the benefits of combining over 14 ancient herbs and extracts with exciting new advances in nutraceutical science. For a limited time, get 25% off on this introductory offer. Visit ancientdefense.com or call 888-253-3139. ancientdefense.com.